it is Sojourning for Truth. I'm coming back to you with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about cloud seeding and we're going to be talking about some other things. So this is a reaction video with some X posts as well and some education on what cloud seeding is. Going back to my yesterday's video about the hurricane and the quartz and the lithium in North Carolina. So I wanted y'all to hear this, and it's so crazy because the way that my TV works, when he asked Alexa, my Alexa said the same exact thing. And it's all over Twitter X now. People are asking Alexa this question. So let's listen. Make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell and hit that thumbs up so you won't miss no more of my videos. I love y'all. Let's get into it.
Would be more reliable than FEMA and the existing administration and the government.
Alexa, did North Carolina use cloud seeding during Hurricane Helene?
Yes. North Carolina has been cloud seeding during Hurricane Helene. Scientists injected silver iodide into the hurricane wall to steer the hurricane in another direction.
Oh my goodness.
Repeat.
To reduce the amount that can be paid out as compensation, Hurricane Helene was then artificially created, just like cloud seeding used to control and manipulate the weather, to flood and devastate those places and crash the value of land there.
So I didn't believe it initially. And I was scrolling and I saw.
Did y'all hear that? Like I told y'all what's in North Carolina. So, like I said, when she asked the Alexa, mine did the same thing. So he's gonna do it. And if you have like a sound bar or something, wherever my Alexa is right near my TV, it always thinks that I'm speaking and it answers the question. So it said the same exact thing. So let's go ahead and see.
Saw a lot more footage. And I said to myself, no way. There is no way. So I go up to my Alexa and I ask her the question. Alexa, did North Carolina use cloud seeding during Hurricane Helene?
From egotalk.com. To reduce the amount that can be paid out as compensation, Hurricane Helene was then artificially created, just like cloud seeding used to control and manipulate the weather, to flood and devastate those places and crash the value of land there.
What? Are you?
Okay. So, again, my Alexa just picked up and said something downstairs. I'm upstairs in my office because I'm at work, but yeah. So I wanted to get into something else because what exactly is cloud seeding? So I did a little video on it, and we can just look at a couple of little things about it really fast.
We talk about it, sing about it, and definitely complain about it. The weather. But have we come to the point where we can control the weather? Technically, that's still too good to be true, but the winds might be changing. Let's talk about cloud seeding. It's described as the enhancement of natural precipitation. To explain how cloud seeding works, we need to first talk about clouds.
Clouds are a bunch of water droplets, or ice crystals, floating in the sky. The water droplets are too small to fall as precipitation, but they are large enough to form the clouds we see. In most parts of the world, these droplets are supercooled, meaning they're below freezing, but they remain liquid. Now, sometimes these droplets are just milling around, pushing past each other and not sticking together, kind of like a missed connection. Other times, these droplets bump into each other, like commuters on a train during a busy rush hour. The water vapors collide and stick to particles floating in the air. It could be dust, smoke particles, or even meteoric debris. Those are known as condensation nuclei.
So cloud seeding can produce what we want more or less of. More snow, more rain, or smaller hail pellets.
So did you hear that? You can enhance the clouds, because it's moisture in the clouds. We know scientifically, or what we learn in science and things like that. Condensation in the clouds inside of the up in the sky. So you can enhance amount of rain, the amount of moisture that you want to fall out of the clouds. And so this illustration is going to show exactly how that happened. And I'm here in Georgia. Again, we had record rain. Again, North Carolina had a record rain. And you gotta ask yourself why. Ask the question why it was record rain. Okay, so this is not too far fetched off, and so let's continue on.
This is done by introducing a seeding agent through pyrotechnic flares attached to an aircraft. Think Roman candles with a mission. A mission to deliver those condensation nuclei that encourage more collisions and group huddles by ice crystals inside the cloud. Common seeding agents used are dry ice, the solid form of carbon dioxide, silver iodide, or simple salts like sodium chloride. Seeding agents act as additional ice nuclei. In the case of silver iodide, its structure is very similar to ice, hexagonal, which is why experts think ice wants to bond to it. When silver iodide is used in a cloud, water droplets begin to give up water vapor and shrink. At the same time, the ice crystals already present in the cloud collect this moisture and grow. As ice crystals bang into other ice crystals, they become larger and heavier until they fall from the cloud. So why would we even want to do this? Who does it benefit?
In the wintertime,
Let's ask ourselves that question: who does it benefit? Why would you want to manipulate weather, modify weather for? We'll see now for crops. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. We will see now what they have to say. You'll be shocked to see what's going on for real.
increase in snowfall is a very significant value add to organizations like hydropower companies.
Idaho Power Company, for example, is interested in having more snowfall during the winter because this produces more runoff in the springtime for hydroelectricity. Wineries, such as ones in Mendoza, Argentina, have also used cloud seeding to protect their vineyards from damage through hail suppression. And lastly, insurance companies like ones in Alberta fund cloud seeding projects in order to lessen damage claims they receive. So how much does it cost? Well, the cost can vary. Hail is the most expensive. Rain projects, less expensive, running $200,000 to $1 million a year, and that might produce an extra 1.5 to 4.5 meters of snow in the mountains.
Did you hear that? So is that where the FEMA money really went allegedly? Because they're broke and everything. Where did all the money go? Did it go into this project? I'm just saying, I don't know. Allegedly, I'm just thinking outside the box because we don't have any money now to help the people in these affected areas, and it's pretty disgusting. But we can pay money again to the migrants. We can use money to fund different type of battles, over in other countries, and we can pay for modification because it's saying here the technology you have to pay for it. So let's continue on, and then I got a couple more other things I want to show y'all.
Or an extra 50 to 125 millimeters of rain in the summer.
And you compare that to what is in the market price for water or comparable technologies in creating more surface and groundwater, that is desalinization, groundwater recharge, some of these, or even building dams and infrastructure, we're a fraction of that cost.
So now that we know how it works, here are some myths busted. Why don't they cloud seed to extinguish forest fires? Because you can't create rain with cloud seeding. You can only enhance clouds that are already present. Can cloud seeding resolve droughts? Not really, because all precipitation requires clouds. If it's already dry, there won't be enough moisture to rise in the air. No clouds, no extra moisture, no chance of enhancement. However, what can be done is to increase snow production and rainfall when there are clouds to work with. In other words, it needs to be preemptive. But does it work? In 2008, Beijing claimed that they made it rain early with cloud seeding to ensure blue skies with the Olympic opening ceremony. In contrast, the American Meteorological Society released a statement in 2010 saying there's still uncertainty whether current cloud seeding techniques actually work to achieve the desired changes in precipitation. According to the World Meteorological Organization, 52 countries have a weather modification program, and many of them continue to boost funding for such operations, all in an effort to perhaps one day control the weather.
Okay, and this was a video from 5 years ago. I think that was my 5 year video. Yeah, I think that one was 5 years ago because I found a lot of stuff on this. Okay, so we saw what was cloud seeding. We saw what Alexa said, right? And you can check out my little short explaining more about it, kind of like in a more scientific way. So now I wanted to go to X really fast. And this is from Millions talking about the Dubai government only uses cloud seeding and geo engineering to control the weather. So why do so many normies in the West refuse to see it's happening in places like UK, US, and Canada and still call it, a con theory? Okay, so let's see.
It's gonna rain in Dubai today, just so I know. I have to drive back from Abu Dhabi to Dubai.
No.
It's not raining. It's a sunny day. The UAE government invested more than $20 million in research to start a process called cloud seeding. The UAE performs around 1,000 hours of cloud seeding a year, and it's all controlled by this building in the National Center of Meteorology in Abu Dhabi, where they track the whole process. We met with a cloud seeding expert to explain how the seeding process works.
We wait the forecast when we have good, chance for a cloud. We send the aircraft to that location. Go under the cloud. In the first stage of the cloud, there is good updraft at that time. Start to release all the salt, and with the good updraft, of course, it will go inside the cloud. The droplets will become bigger and start to rain.
The center manufactures a salt substance that helps enhance rainfall. They put them in what they call flares. It's gonna rain in Dubai today, just so I know. I have to drive.
Now, wasn't that interesting for them to say that when we just saw what happens when people do cloud modification? And you see people asking Alexa the same thing that we saw.
Hurricane Helene.
It is alleged that the government used cloud seeding to manipulate Hurricane Helene. The purpose of this manipulation was to reduce the amount of compensation that would be paid out. This allegation suggests that the government was involved in the creation of Hurricane Helene and used cloud seeding to control and manipulate the weather. While there is no proof of this allegation, it is important to note that this is a controversial topic.
Now you see that the wording is starting to change because they're getting an ear of what's really going on. So you can see more videos about this on X. I wanted to show y'all one more. Okay, so this is in the state that I'm in. And he's saying Kemp literally allowed them to cloud seed the storm days prior to the weaponization of the weather. Y'all remember Dubai, which we just saw the video on that. So let's see what he's saying.
Governor Kemp having them cloud seed the storms. And he hightailed it to Pennsylvania.
For those of you who don't know what cloud seeding is, we put together a little documentary type thing. And guess what? Just like all of their science, it has side effects.
Chemtrails, by the way, barium salts are in chemtrails. They are 10,000 times more toxic to your nervous system than lead. They contain mycobacteria, viruses, Pseudomonas florensis bacteria, human plasma. Wonder what human plasma is doing in chemtrails. And this is not by conjecture. I did a lot of research before I'd ever say this.
Wow. So you remember when people kept saying about the chemtrails, we kept seeing all these things in the sky. They're connected to the modification with the cloud seeding because it says it has barium salts in the chemtrails. And we know that, they were trying to block certain things with the sun, with the chemtrails and things like that from my research and what I have discovered. So let's keep on listening to this.
But these chemtrails are nasty. And there's 3 reasons for chemtrails. The first is and I talked to my NSA buddies at Fort Carson, Peterson Air Force Base, and Buckley, where I was actually their doctor taking care of the pilots flying and spraying the chemtrails. So I know it's real. If anybody says it's not real, they're full of it. Okay? Because I'm a whistleblower. On the inside, it's not open for discussion. And my NSA buddies told me, 95% of them told me, they were up there trying to spray to reflect the sun out to stop global warming. So most of them are dumb enough to believe that garbage. Okay? And also in the chemtrails, and there's a link directly that Jeff Francis found out, and I'm going to have Dr. Staninger and Dr. Carjou on in about a week on my radio show. And I've done some investigations, and there's very solid evidence now that Morgellons is caused by a silicon-based nanomachine life form that does not originate on planet Earth. Is that not interesting? This is a silicon-based life form that is intelligent like bees or ants, and it fights back. Conversion of the atmosphere into a plasma for weather modification, geotectonic warfare, scalar mind control technologies, the woodpecker, which has been discovered back in the 70s, HARP, the Tetra system in the United Kingdom, Gwen towers in the United States, and the Iridium satellite system connected to the cell towers and the smart highways is all based on not only sending out a signal to track you, but Nokia, which is one of the leading cell companies, has figured out a new way to cut down the need for increasing the amount of signal by 3 to 5 times as many cell phones in the same signal area by beaming the signal directly to you. But they can also, besides the cell signal, they can actually have a biocoded signal to your DNA to affect your physiology and insert thoughts into your mind. And they have this technology today.
Wow. Is that it?
In the 20th century, clouds were seeded by numerous countries around the globe with various chemicals to produce rain. China was just doing this over the summer in Beijing to make sure that there weren't any rain, that there wasn't any rain during the Olympics.
Didn't we just hear that in the previous video about Beijing making sure that there was not going to be any rain? During the Olympics, it was going to be clear skies. Wow. And Dr. Sandra just pretty much confirmed that, the environmental writer and educator. Let's continue listening. This is interesting. This is my first time hearing this with y'all.
But all this has changed dramatically with the U.S. military's secretive research and plans to control the planet's natural weather. This has not been given very much press, and we have to remember that we have a corporate-owned press where 85% of radio, television, and print media is owned by 5 corporations. So they're not going to talk about things that are of really serious consequence, and that's somewhat of the blessing, a mixed blessing of the internet, but there's certainly plenty of information on weather modification. The Air Force is on record as saying, quote, they want to control the weather by 2025, and we are not talking about just seeding the clouds for rain. Weather modification means, quote, any activity.
Hold on, 2025. We got to do what, 2-3 months before it be 2025? What year was this video? A lot of this stuff has been in the works for 20 plus years, 10 plus years, their plans are coming together. And those that are, I don't want to say woke, but those that are not sleep, those that don't have scales on their eyes, those that have wisdom, those that can see beyond the surface, we know what time it is and we know what's been going on for a while. Those that just are waking up out of that slumber, yeah, understand this is a wicked world, and the Bible tells us that the prince of the principalities, the prince of the airwaves, the media, and all of those things, the evil people, they control the earth. He allowed that, but he also has control over all things, good and bad. He allows these things to happen, and he turns it into for his purpose, for the good. So let's just continue on.
Activity performed with the intention of producing artificial changes in the composition, behavior, or dynamics of the atmosphere, unquote. And as of April this year, there are more than 150 different weather modification programs around the world. Since about 2000, the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy have been spraying the entire United States sky with a toxic brew of chemicals.
So for 24 years, since 2000, we've been sprayed with chemicals in our air, in our airways. Let's continue.
And other biologic agents. Just want to show you something. We have two different kinds of trails in the sky right now. One are called contrails. How many of you know what contrails are? Contrails would have been around from the ends of planes since World War II. These are very, very short exhaust trails that usually evaporate within a few minutes. You just look up at the sky and you'll just see a jet, sometimes with 4 trails, but it evaporates pretty quickly. How many of you know what chemtrails are? Nobody. The military and some commercial.
This has to be an old video, y'all, because we know what chems are, and I never heard of the comms one, but yeah, we've heard of the chems. So this must be a very old video. It looks kind of a dated video, probably from sometimes in maybe the early 2000s, maybe the 90s, but she said 2000, so it's got to be like right around that time. So when a lot of people did not know what that was or didn't even want to accept that these things were happening. But let's continue on. I hope that y'all are enjoying this video. Make sure that y'all hit the thumbs up and share this video as well, and like the video.
Commercial planes are spraying us with what are called chemtrails. I want you to look at and oftentimes before there's a weather front, there are heavy assaults from these planes just before a weather front is changed and comes in. Military and some commercial jets have been fitted with huge barrels of at least 49 different kinds of documented chemical poisons. Among other documented ingredients in this toxic man-made clouds are pathogenic molds, fungi, weaponized viruses, and made in some places like the secret site at Fort Detrick, Maryland, which is supposed to be a cancer site. But there are a number of scholars and professors tracking this that have big questions about this. Barium and nanoaluminum particles. What do these do to the human body? Barium is an alkaline earth mineral. It was discovered in 1774. At low doses, it can act as a muscle stimulant. At high doses, it detrimentally affects the heart and the nervous system. Barium is toxic to all mammals, and that means not just humans. Aluminum, which is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust, is known to diminish kidney function, and destroy brain cells and cognitive function. Just think about it. Just between the aluminum and the mercury that we're breathing all the time, we've got already a serious issue about brain function and cognitive function. There is also documented evidence that the aluminum in chemtrails is released as nanoparticles, and that when they reach the Earth environment for wildlife in lakes and streams, it's causing serious problems with wildlife there. Researchers are also finding that nanoparticles interfere with the growth of plants. Nanotechnology is totally unregulated. Just this past month, a new research.
And I did a video exposing nanotechnology and the carbon fibers and things like that on my TikTok. I don't really do TikTok videos like that because I don't like to be censored. So I'm gonna start doing my videos on X. But yeah, I had exposed that about the nanotechnology and what they're trying to do, and also we're starting to see that the nanotechnology is in some of our drinks and our foods and certain things like that, how we can get the nanotechnology into our bodies. So that's something to be aware of. Allegedly, I have to say allegedly because they would take my channel, and I don't want to I don't want to have that to happen to me, especially with all the work that I'm doing to do these videos. But let's continue listening, and then I'm gonna pretty much show y'all one more thing about the musical instrument video. This guy, he showed about the musical instrument modification.
Report came out showing and documenting for the first time that these nanoparticles actually go through the skin. Well, if you breathe them, whether they go through the skin or whether you're inhaling them, it's still a problem, a serious problem.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in
Okay, so that was interesting in itself. Like I said, I was pretty much looking at that for the first time with y'all. I wanted to go right into this. I love this guy. He has really, really good.
Make sure this is on the screen. Okay, it's on the screen. Now, everybody want to talk about harp. Oh, they using harp. They using harp. They using harp. And they think that harp is this thing that's in another country. No. Harp is something that's here in America. It's radio towers that they pulsate to steer a hurricane. So watch this. Everybody's like, well, you know what? George Soros just bought 200 radio stations. No, dog. George Soros just bought 200 god doggone harp locations. But we know. Watch this. Wow. Here come the hurricane. And there they go, pulsing off, controlling and steering the hurricane. Boom, boom, boom. Let's play it again. Here they come. Pulse, boom. Firing off, boom. And you see them firing off, creating a corridor for this hurricane to come through. Boom, 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 boom. And you see how the weather's reacting to where it's wrapping around it. So, to be clear with you, if you voted for the Democrats, I want to be very clear for you Democratic voters. They're targeting your monkey ass. Yes, sir. They are targeting you. Yes, sir. Now, of course, they targeted Florida. They targeted Republican stronghold to put things into chaos. And if you notice, this hurricane, it was trying to go up and hit North Carolina and just go up the coast. But see, this is what you got to understand about the people that you voted for. See, they don't give a damn about destroying you in the process of destroying us, because we all in this together, baby. But no. I'm a Democrat. I support Kamala. With this in context, let me play it again. I'm going to go back to what I was talking about before.
So you see where the green lights are pulsating right at the near the Gulf, like right on the edge. All of these are satellite, pretty much, signals. And the green is showing how it can steer it. Again, going back to what we just learned about with cloud seeding. So I wanted y'all to just see that I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. I'm gonna have another video coming out showing the devastation on the ground from this guy that's actually helping out in North Carolina. And oh my gosh, it is horrific, but also a beautiful time to be alive with all the patriots and civilians and true, people of God that are just helping out, being a good Samaritan. So make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video and thumbs up, y'all. I love y'all so much. We are sojourning for the truth. We are sojourners, and people don't know what sojourning is. Sojourn is to be a stranger in your land. Like, this is not our home. We are just here temporarily. That's what it says. This is not our home. We all have a mission here. We all have a purpose here. So until next time, love y'all. Always remember, keep the Most High God first. Let's continue to pray for one another. Let's continue to love on one another. And let's continue to pray that our land will be healed and a revival and a renewal of our strength will fall upon this whole world. I love y'all so much.